Fred. Oh, my walks are catching up with me. Hmm. Tori and Jonathan, I like that people tell their stories, and this is TJ Talks, the podcast. I was debating if I was doing this week or if I was going to start my hiatus. I have something to talk about, and I really hope this does not come off as a rant, because I don't rant. But something has been messing with my spirit for a while. Value yourself. Valuing yourself. As artists, this is a topic that we can battle with. I have been battling with this topic personally for years. I've been undervaluing myself. Speaking from experience here, undervalued myself and what I bring to projects, situations, the room, and as a whole. I want to break this down in a way that can be productive and constructive for everybody listening, because I know for a fact there are other artists that are in this situation that could benefit from this. I did not write down all these topics because every time I started to write it down, I started to get angry with myself. So I stopped writing them down. But I do have the areas I want to talk about. Oat milk latte. One, as an artist, do understand the moment you leave your bubble to then potentially interact with others or collaborate with others, it is more beneficial to the other parties, monetary wise, than it is for you, depending on what you've done with your time and what your craft is. Example, I have always been technologically inclined my entire life. I consider that a blessing that I've been surrounded by the tech. I have always been technologically inclined. If I didn't know how to work something, I could figure it out in a couple minutes. Will I be a master at it? No, but I can figure it out enough to use it in a couple minutes. That is a trait that is not exclusive to artists, but remember how I said value yourself in what you bring to a room. I always hung out with my folks. Had zero problem hanging out with my folks. I believe now they are dependent on my existence. I have taught, for instance, my folks, my mom and my dad, how to use everything in their home way more times than I can count or choose to disclose. But every time I'm around, they'll just ask me, can you run the dishwasher? The only thing you have to do is put the pot in, hit the setting, and hit start. Can you run the dishwasher? Okay. Can you cut on the gas oven? We have electric and gas in the kitchen. Can you cut on the gas oven? Only thing you have to do is cut it on, leave it there. When the light goes off, that means it's at that temperature. Can you cut on the gas oven? Okay. Can you help me work out my internet issues? Okay, are you on the right internet? I think so. You are on the right internet. Did you restart your computer yet? I haven't restarted it today. Okay, we'll restart it and then I'll come back. Okay. The value that you bring to your room is usually more than you think. Value yourself. I am tech support when it comes to my family. Value yourself. When that's just the family aspect, another aspect, whenever I show up to a party and I wasn't invited and I just show up, I will naturally just snap photos. I don't bring my cameras with me all the time, but like right now, this podcast is being shot on my iPhone. I can do magical things with just my iPhone. I would just snap some pictures. And then I'll be asked, ooh, can I get those pictures? Okay. That's when I wasn't invited. If I'm actually invited, they expect me to show up with said cameras. This is broken down right now because I was cleaning, but with said cameras. And naturally, the professional in me won't just bring the one. I'll bring the one I plan on using, and then I'll have a backup. That's the professional in me. If I am being paid, I will have the 2 cameras I plan on using and at least a backup for those. The professional in me. I did not realize until this year or last year, I am not of the same level as a lot of other people that some of my clients have experienced. I will tackle something from the angle of have more than you need over just enough to get the job done. I will pull up with the 3 4K capable cameras and have 2 backups in the bag that are also 4K capable in case one of those gets on the fritz. But I've tested them already, so they're not going to be on the fritz, but just in case I have backups. Some other people would just pull up with the 1 camera. And if it doesn't work out, we can reshoot. I used to think there was something wrong with that. But now I know that's valuing yourself. I will pull up with my 3 cameras to capture all of the angles, to get all the footage, and then realize I then have to edit all the footage. I then have to keep up with all of the cameras. I then have to do all this extra work. But I'm being paid the same amount as the person that pulled up with the 1 camera because I didn't value myself initially. As artists, I've learned the better you are at your craft, the worse you are at the money side of it. This is typically why you have somebody else run your books. The better you are at your craft, the worse you are at the money aspect. I personally do not approve of this message. But now that I'm sitting down and I'm really at a point in my life where I'm realizing, okay, I got bills. I've got bills. I'm trying to get a mortgage. I got to figure out my own healthcare insurance. My doctor's bills aren't getting any cheaper. I will have multiple sclerosis for the rest of my life. So paying for that isn't cheap. I like to eat. Just because I like to cook doesn't mean I like to cook all the time. And healthy food is expensive. Let me say that again. Healthy food that somebody else cooks is expensive. and it's not close. All these factors in, and then you add in, I like nice things. I like to look nice. I like to feel nice. And then I like doing nice things for my spouse and my family. I like nice things. I need money. That can be a dangerous thing, and it could put you down. And then you could also use it as motivation to lift you up. But it's real. I need money. I am an artist. I have these skills, but I'm undervaluing what I bring to the table. And then I will constantly undervalue what I bring to the table. Value yourself and the time it takes you to do stuff, because people think creating is just the moment that you're interacting with them. Creating is the moment that you interact with them. Yes, that's one. But then the prep before the moment you interact with them, which is about 2 times the time you're with them at least. The finishing, which is 2 to 3 times again the moment you're interacting with them. And then finally getting the product out. So that's a 4-step process at least. And I just summed that up a little bit. Some people think when we create a moment, it's just the creation of the moment. And the rest of the stuff, how we get to that last one, just happens. No, there's pre-work, the actual moment you interact, post the moment you interact, and then getting it out the door. I was notorious for undervaluing and forgetting this part of the process, which is why I love that I went to school and now I know all productions are this process, and that they really should educate people that are in the creative spectrum that creating is at least a 4-step process. Prep, the creation, post-creation, getting it out the door. It's a 4-step process at least. I was undervaluing said process in the fact that it's 4 steps. I was just like everybody else, the client, treating it as a 1-step process, the creation of the task. Never factored in the time that it takes to get the prep done, getting it done properly, the budgeting, getting everything together, the set up the day of, then the actual thing. I am always pivoting the day of. It's a trait that not everybody has, that when stuff goes left, being flexible enough to still make it happen. A lot of people break up at this step I've seen, clients and professional talent too. You got to be prepared for stuff to go sour the day of, but still get it done. Fix it in post. You don't fix it in post first. This is where you clean up what happened here, but still make it do what it's supposed to do. And then 4th, getting it out the door. So many people stop at these 3 steps, but never get it out the door. So what was the point in the other 3 steps if you never get it out the door? I have been sitting on so many projects that are in that 4th step that aren't out the door, that it annoys the living daylights out of me. Like, we did all these 1, 2, and 3, the prep, the thing, the editing, and then it doesn't get out the door, runs me up the wall every time. I have ended relationships, business and personal, over failure to do the last step. That will drive me up the wall, and I like to protect my peace. Nothing annoys me more than not finishing what you set out to do, especially the moment you get through the other 3 steps and then you can't do the last one. Get it out the door. that shows me whoever you were working with did not value you or the process or the thing they're creating. So this is why this week I had to sit down and vent a little bit. Value yourself. And in case you're wondering who I'm talking to, this week I'm talking to me. Torian Jonathan. I like to help people tell their stories, and this is TJ Talks, the podcast. I hope to actually talk to y'all next week. Later.